Welcome back to BC Procast episode 43. The
43.
4-3. We are 9 away from a year.
I know.
It's going to be crazy to look back and be like at 52 and like it's going to be like whatever day, whatever week, and like we're in the school year, you're into like your job along with school as well. We're like, "Oh, we started it then? Like we started it now?"
Yeah.
Like what? It was out of nowhere. We don't have to talk about that. That'll be the 52nd podcast.
Well, going off of that, I remember when we first began. Well, you had beat out Robert, which check him out. It's actually BC Pro now, but
you just gotta scroll.
They're actually good.
Down.
Braedon was actually a great vlogger, which I'm kind of sad that vlogging is out, and like other things are now in, but like short-term content is now like huge. But I remember sitting at your couch and upstairs in your loft, and I was sitting on the couch and you were sitting, and you said as I'm a junior in high school, you want to be at this number. Me at a junior high school and you junior at college, you wanted to be at this number. It was like you wanted to be at this certain amount of subscribers and stuff like that. And I was like it's crazy to go back in there and be like, oh my goodness. Like I was in high school when I think it was like beginning of BC Pro or something like that. I can't remember when we started. Was I junior? That's when you said at a junior, this is what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, I have no idea.
And now I'm a senior in college, and you're a
teacher.
You're
in college.
How many times have you graduated? How many times have you graduated?
We don't need to know.
Or
how many times have I graduated?
Yeah.
3 times.
3.
Yeah.
High school, college. You graduated twice from college?
I have 2 degrees from college, yeah.
I thought you had 3.
I have 3 majors, 2 degrees.
Oh, associate's degree.
Yeah, I got my...
Did you go to that?
Yeah, I got my... Well, no. Did I go to it? No. Okay. I got my liberal arts or whatever.
Oh, wow.
So I got my associate's degree, and then I just continued working off of that. You don't have to get your associate's degree, but... Flex, dude.
Yeah, well, I didn't think I was going to get
my master's degree.
Are you going to get it?
Bachelor's, master's. It's funny that you bring that up.
I feel like if you get masters, you just have to
Well, you best believe I'm making everyone call me master.
Wait, is that a thing?
I don't know, but everyone calls people doctors if they have a doctorate.
So you're a bachelor.
Don't tell Kenzie.
Don't
tell Kenzie. But actually, speaking about a little bit of that, like lofty goals and stuff like that, I wanted to talk today about the word pursuit or pursuing or pursue. I don't know where it really came to me. I think just in life, like as certain things happen. So like we're going to the school year now, so it's a new school calendar year. And as a teacher, like this is when I work, and then also with you, your college school calendar year has already started, but you're doing that. Kind of leads you to a place of maybe like goals and maybe certain benchmarkers you want to hit. And then also like outside of that, like people have their own passions and things they want to pursue, like greatness or pursuing a relationship or pursuing like just like a new work ethic, so on and so forth. So I was thinking about the word pursue and pursuit. I was like, I think that's a good thing because pursuing is like something you're chasing after, that you're pursuing like a lot of animals pursue their prey. And it's like if we take that analogy of like pursuing prey, maybe that can make us put us in a place of self-reflection of like what are we pursuing after, and then we can take a different routes of like a big thing that a lot of people need to pursue if they're not, and like this is speaking to the choir, I don't know if that's the term, but like me as well, is that pursuing your relationship with God. It's something that each day and every day when you wake up, you're pursuing something that's greater than yourself, something that is deeper than what has been before, something that is more integral into your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the word pursue or pursuit, or what do you think, um, what makes you, when you hear that word, what does it make you think of, or what's something that you're wanting to pursue in this time and season?
So when I first heard that word in my life, no, I was just kidding. When you first brought it up, immediately I started thinking about what makes someone pursue and what are the reasons why. And then I like went into another of um I was in my mind I kept saying, just don't bring it up. Just don't bring it up. Just don't bring it up. But at this point I'm just gonna bring it up. We've had friends and stuff like that or people in our lives where what are you doing there? You're doing this.
I'm smelling my finger.
Why?
Oh, because I was taking a drink and it smelled weird.
We've had,
You ever eat something and then it like lingers? Like an
yes,
orange is
dude.
a perfect example.
That's a good linger.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten
This
like
doesn't smell like orange.
so we've had friends in our lives or people around us that don't have anything that they're pursuing, and you get to see their life and how it's like they almost don't have a goal. And then I feel like when you don't have a goal, you're just living life. Which I mean, I mean, if you want to do that, that's like do that and stuff like that. Bro, what I just did right there. Have you seen Brand? So you brought up Brandon like, and you sent a bunch of videos, which link in the description. Put some work on you, boy.
Shout out Brandon Lake.
Shout out Brandon Lake. So, hey, we want Brandon Lake. So I'm now obsessed with him now too because you brought him up and I started listening to what he was like talking about, and he was talking to his wife about love, and he was like, "Yep, just hold it in." He was talking. Are you yawning?
No.
Dude, I know you so well now. I know your facial expressions.
Yeah, you look at me every hour, once a week at least.
Yeah. So unless if we have a guest. Um,
Mm.
so Brandon Lake was and his wife were talking about how like setting boundaries and stuff like that. And he's like, men just can't make out. And they're all laughing. And they go, yeah, like and Brandon's like, yeah, and then your hands start wandering and stuff like that. And he goes, but we're not and then she goes, but I just couldn't like not kiss you. And then he goes, "Oh yeah, yeah." And we're not those weird people that like they wait till they kiss at their wedding day. And they immediately took it back. They're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's not weird. It's actually really sweet. It's actually really sweet." Oh, that's not weird at all. They're just stronger than us. And so I did that
Or you insult someone
long.
without
Well,
insulting someone.
not insult, but
Who did you insult?
I didn't insult
People
anyone.
without goals?
No, dude. Oh my
Wow.
gosh, what is this? Anyways, so
Wow.
what I found.
But honestly, that's not a life to live.
Right. And so I feel like
You should have a goal. That's
yeah.
it's a problem if you don't.
And I noticed that when I started adding goals or I felt like I was just naturally motivated, but I feel like it's just brings something to your life to work at every single day. And it's not just, oh, this day is just specifically just to live. You know what I'm saying? Like I wake up and in my plan that day is I'm just going to just walk and go to sleep and then eat or whatever it may be. And so I was like, man, I'm very, very thankful to have that pursuit. And I, for some reason, think of Pursuit of Happiness. Is that a movie?
Yeah, that is a movie.
And it made me think about like the need or the want to do that.
Mm.
But my question to you is, first of all, is there anything you're pursuing, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think what you led me to an idea where like setting goals and pursuing stuff, um, it doesn't have to be this lofty thing that happens in years, but it could be
Right.
something that you take a step each day. Oftentimes, each day it might be hard to be on that grind, so you can break it down to like each week. So I follow this guy on Instagram. It's like Andrew Glaze or something like that, and he's a runner and he just did the UTMB thing it's called, which is basically it's like 109 mile race
What?
through like Europe. So you like start in like Switzerland, go down to Italy. Well, you go in France, like Switzerland, Italy, or something like that. It's like a super super long race, and he runs like in that race 109 miles, but on his own each week he like hits, I think he hits 100 miles each week, like every week. He's like on a streak. But he finished the race on Sunday. He ran for 40 hours straight, no sleep, and just ran. You'd have aid stations where you'd refuel and stuff like that. And he said it was very, very hard. He like it was one of his hard runs, just
Lord.
because so much elevation and everything like that. Today, Monday, he's in the future because he's in Italy still or France still. He went out for a 10-mile run.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and so what he says is like at the end, he goes, Monday doesn't care about what you did last week.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm starting over. Each week I start over. And it makes you think about like a lot of people when they go dieting calories, there's a strategy where you don't count your calories each day, you count your calories of the week. So like if a day you eat a lot of food, maybe the next day you eat a little less
Yeah.
and kind of like balance it out that way. But like he takes it in his training protocol where it's like at the end of each week, I ran at the start of on Monday, I ran 0 miles this whole week. He goes, so I have to go out running. Like imagine running
That's
109
crazy.
miles and then
Yeah.
going out for a 10-mile run and you
That's
do
so
like
crazy.
it's crazy. He does it like less than, I don't even know how fast he did it, but his levels at like he ran 10 miles and then like I saw his heart rate monitor or whatever, and he was like I think he averaged like or his average heart rate. No, never mind. His heart rate at that moment in time was 61, which is
Which is
low.
yeah, which is
Which
like
is low.
resting, right?
Yeah, he's
While he
probably
was
right half.
running?
Well, I don't know if it was while he was
Oh,
running. It
okay.
might have been just during the picture. But even after a run and your heart rate's at 61, that's insane. But his heart is just built different. That's cardiovascular health. That's all it is.
Dude, how
Um,
do you even get to that place where you
Run
can
all the
just do
time,
that? Well, we have a friend who's trying to is he trying to do a marathon or half a marathon?
half a marathon.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
And what do you know why he's doing that?
I think just cause he's training for it.
See, that's what's cool. Is like when you have a goal, you like train for it.
Yeah.
Like there was I had a year once where I was like really gonna train basketball, and it like brought me happiness because I was like, this is like, and I liked. We shout out AJ. AJ and I were like, we're gonna train for a year, and we're really gonna get into it. And AJ fell off, but anyways, we had Braedon as a coach, and Braedon was a good coach. In my head, I was locking in. Like I trusted him. I was locked in with him. AJ was a different story. One day he was like, we were we were like working. Brain's like giving us these drills, and we're like going at it. And it got to the point where AJ's like bricking. We're both bricking, but AJ was really bricking, and he was just bricking. And then AJ's like getting to that like his hands on his back, and he's tired. He's sweating, and Braden goes, "Hey, are you tired?" And then we're both like, yeah. And he goes, don't be. And then we're like, what? What? I wasn't tired
It's a
after that.
mental thing.
Yeah,
I
no,
was
it really
serious.
is.
I can back up everything I'm saying.
No,
But
it was really good.
I
But
can't say that.
I think like when you have like that goal and you just the way that you pursue it just seriously brings so much joy. Like right now, I'm about to read a book, and I'm just already thinking about my goal is to read this book and get as much knowledge, get it soak up, be a sponge, like soak up as much gold as I possibly can from this book. And like that's while I read each page, I'm feeling like fueled. Like I feel like pursuing fuels you. You know what
Because
I'm saying?
there's passion and purpose in something.
Yeah.
Like
Putting okay,
oh
so
god.
putting on a different hat. Now a person that's not pursuing anything or maybe doesn't know what to pursue because we know those people who that's their excuse. What do you give to them? What do you tell them so that way they pursue something and that it's not going to be short term? You know what I'm saying? Because there will be sometimes where someone wants to do something, but that in that moment they want to do it. But then, like I remember when I wanted to get abs for the longest time when I was a kid. First of all, I used to pray for them. And I said, God, if you give me abs, I would live for you forever,
I
dude.
said superpowers.
See, everyone has their thing that they're trying to pray for. But honestly, faith is a mustard seed. Don't have them. Anyways, oh man, where was I going? Oh, and like it was that short term, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wake up every morning, I'm gonna do sit-ups, I'm gonna just really go at it. But then the next day came and I was like, who needs them? You know what I'm saying? I wish that younger kid, I could talk to him and be like, do it now, do it now.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you tell someone where it's going to be long lasting? Well, we'll start out with first. How do you what goal or what thing should you pursue, or what should someone look at to pursue?
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I seriously don't have an
All right.
answer.
I think it needs to be. I think it needs.
How did you do that?
Because I always have something to say. I
And
want to
that's
hear what
okay,
you have
dude.
something to say.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. There's times where I'll talk and I'm like, dude, I'm talking. And it especially doesn't help when you yawn. Because in my mind, I'm
It's
already
nothing
like,
against you.
no, I know it's not. Because you do it to every guest except for Joey ILO. Where
Well, I
I think you were
couldn't.
locking it.
I
Yeah, I
couldn't.
think you were
I
like,
could
well,
not.
dude, he was only making eye contact with you.
It's true. I couldn't even like
So I
look away with
couldn't.
it.
Dude, there's
Okay, what
times
do you
where
think?
yeah, there's times where I was like, hey, I'm here too, by the way. Um, dude, I don't have like a thought.
No.
Oh, what I
So
was gonna say though,
yeah.
like there's be times where I'm like talking and I'm like looking at you, but then I'm like reading you, right? And I'm like already I'm insecure about what I'm saying. 'Cause I'm like, what if it's not good? And
What?
then I see you yawn, and I'm like,
Yawn.
that's my answer. So what do you think?
No. I just no. I would say it needs something greater than themselves. Like
Oh wow.
whoever this person is now, the goal or the thing that they should pursue needs to be above them.
Mm,
They need to be growing. And like again, like a lot of us, we value like fitness and we value like physical activity. That's something we prioritize during our days. Um, even though I might not look like
you do.
it,
Oh my gosh.
it's a joke.
Yeah, you do.
I don't actually work out anymore. Anyway, but that's something we value and something that we want to add in. But some people might not value that or want to pursue that
Mm,
or set those goals easily. Like the idea of becoming better and growing can be applied to any aspect in life. If it's your work life,
yeah.
if it's relationships, if your relationship with God, which is everyone should be working on that and pursuing that. That's something that everyone should have a goal
Yeah.
of increasing and deepening that relationship. Um, but like it can be applied to so many different things. But I think like for that person, they need to find something that's greater than them,
Mm,
like something that doesn't leave them the same. Like I shouldn't say like I'm trying to even think like there's like atmospheres and like stratospheres or whatever. Like it shouldn't be in the same atmosphere of where you're at. It shouldn't be in the same elevation. It shouldn't be a horizontal
oh.
goal. It should be something that's vertical.
Yeah.
Like there's bettering, like getting to a place, getting to a level, and like perfecting the craft. But there should be constant steps. Like if you're not growing, you're lowering.
No,
I came up with that on the spot.
there was a person that said if your relationship isn't growing with God,
It's you're
it
just going away.
yeah,
There's no just staying the same. There's no like lukewarm. You don't want to be lukewarm.
yeah.
You want to be moving. But if you're not moving towards them, you're moving away. Like 100%. Because the relationship, the thing about it, like keeps moving because
Mm,
you're having more experiences. You're getting older. You're experience like more experiences. You're getting older. You're interacting with new people, new life. Things are gonna throw at you. And if you stop moving, you're gonna then you know what I'm saying?
mm,
Then you're moving away.
yeah.
So something you have to keep up with. That's how I was kind of thinking about. And then to kind of answer your next question real quick before you have stuff to say, um, is that the way to do it is
Mm,
a gradual investment of your time, effort, thought, whatever it may be. Gradual. Because if you have a lofty goal and which I think everyone should, if you don't, you're not going anywhere. If you don't have a lofty goal, well, if you have a lofty goal and you jump in, like for example, I want to run a marathon in like however long, a month. First of all, that is a lofty goal. Running a marathon in a month, if especially you haven't run. So maybe you plan one out for
yeah.
a year. Start off if this is a person that doesn't run. Start off with like just going to the track and running 100 meters. taking a break for 100, run 100, take a break for 100, or run 200 meters, take a break for 200. Like, break it down to that. Then get to a place where you run a mile. But you shouldn't be going out your first day and running anywhere like 3 to 5 miles if you're not running or you haven't been running.
Yeah.
Something gradual, because then you'll get overburnt and then you'll be like, I can't do that. And I was just listening to a podcast where your brain, this guy by Andrew Huberman, and he was explaining how your brain associates and connects to or strengthens thoughts and feelings related to something that you are not fond of.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if something goes wrong, your brain is much stronger to, oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to experience that again. But if, in to the point where even if something goes good, your brain's like, yeah, that's good.
Wow.
But it's not like, oh, I want to do that again, unless it's like maybe something very, very good. Then your brain goes, yeah, I would like to do that again. Now, that's not referring to like drugs, because that's a whole different thing. That's a chemical spike of that. That's like your brain is like, oh, this is extremely good. So your brain wants to keep on doing it again. You want to chase that high. But so basically, I'm saying that as like anything gradual, because if you come in and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, it's going to make it much more difficult
Wow.
to continue on.
And what questions should someone ask themselves to find, like for us, we want to work out because we want our lives to be fit.
Longevity
We
and
want
health.
longevity and stuff like that. But also that's not
I'm going to outlive all
everyone's.
my friends. Huh?
That's how you're gonna.
What?
You're not gonna. That's not how you're going to. Or sorry, that may not be your goal. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What questions should they ask themselves to find their
Yeah.
goal or to find what
Yeah.
they should do?
I'll answer and then I'd love to hear what you think. Um, I think it comes specific to a person. It's kind of hard, um, because I don't know what you think about when you're just doing nothing at home. I don't know what you think about when you're at work. I don't know what drives you. I don't know what motivates you. I don't know what gets you excited. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know where you're insecure. That's the difficult thing. Like, a lot of goals and um, benchmarkers you want to hit, a lot of things you want to pursue come from places of like just like your own personal inner thoughts, insecurities, passions, purpose. So like if I'm a friend of this person, then I'll try to use like my existing knowledge of them, of like, all right, like I know what he likes or she likes. I know what they've talked to me about when like we on long car drives or something like that. But I'd challenge them to be like, hey, where do you think in your life is lacking? Like, where do you think you can get better? One, everyone, I could go off on this and we're not trying to make this long. Everyone needs to be having physical activity and
Mm-hmm.
health in their life, physical health in their life. That is number one thing. They're literally talking about like neuroplasticity and like the promotion of cognitive health and your brain health literally, oh my goodness, literally like produces and like becomes better,
Yeah.
increases like the health after exercise and with exercise. Your
Did,
body's made to move.
didn't
And
you
I've
say
said this
something?
before about genes.
Yeah. Okay.
Literally, you have genes that are locked in like a case that if you don't exercise, you don't get them. And these genes
That's
promote
crazy to me,
health
dude.
and longevity.
Yeah.
And if you exercise and you have physical activity, it unlocks them. By the way, exercise, physical activity, the reason why I'm saying like those two different things is because a lot of people go, oh, I don't go to the gym and lift weights. You don't need to do that for physical activity and exercise, but you need something that creates sweat. You need something
Mm-hmm.
that raises your heartbeat, that beats more. You want something that tests you. You need some type of resistance training, but also as you get older in age too, going for walks, long walks, or maybe going upstairs or testing your body. Like as you get older, you lose like functions of like simple things because you don't put your body in those situations.
Yeah.
Like as you get older, it's hard to get up and sit. It's hard to stand up and sit down. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But like your body just gets that age. But if you take care of your body well, then that is not something that's difficult. But you
Yeah.
need resistance training. You need to be able to sweat. You need to test your heart because your heart, that's something that beats.
Yeah.
And the stronger your heart is, the more that your blood circulation and flows everything, and then it completely correlates and connects to then brain capacity and everything like that too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people say, as you get older, you want to do crossword puzzles and you want to do stuff like that too. And this kind of goes in a different topic. I'm so sorry. You
No,
want to
you're
do
good.
that stuff to keep your cognitive ability, but
Yeah.
also another thing you want to do that can help promote longevity, which I was telling you earlier before the podcast, is that there's this like cortex or center in your brain. I'm sorry, I don't remember what it's called. I was listening to Andrew Huberman. He's talking about it. That is a huge indicator. That is an indicator in longevity and health from studies they've done. Um, when people do things they necessarily don't want to do that are difficult, they do them.
Wow.
So we talked a lot about physical activity. So it's like I don't want to go and do a set of 10 reps. I don't want to go in the ice bath. But also could be something like I don't want to take on that big task at work. I don't want to do that. But that's something that is like beyond you. It's difficult, but obviously it's not going to be harmful. Don't do anything that's harmful.
Mm.
But like something that pushes you past that limit, that provides growth and it creates a system in your brain that you're ready to take on difficult hard tasks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times, and he goes on to continue in his separate video where he talks about like, oh, I don't want to write this research paper. So a thing you can do is go on the level of difficulty. Research paper is at the top one, for example. But instead of just sitting there doing nothing, maybe you start cleaning your room. That's not something people necessarily want to do. Some people enjoy cleaning, but this in this example. But what that does is that that's something difficult that builds confidence that I don't want to do this, but I'm doing it. But then it leads you to a level of progression of getting to that level. When you're productive, productive continues throughout the rest of the day. That's what they say, start and make your bed from the very moment you start it. I know for me that like when I have things I got to do and take care of, I start with cleaning my room. If my room's dirty, because then I go to that, then I go to the next task, the next task, the next task, and the next thing I'm ending up doing is filling out my curriculum for the next upcoming semester. Just because you start that productivity line.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm getting
Wow.
off
No,
task,
no,
but
that was
you want to
great.
pursue and you want to do things that challenge yourself because if
Right.
you're challenged and you do things hard, then you can continue doing things hard. And the things that are hard then become easier and then you can challenge yourself more so. Like, let me tell you, like, I think it's funny because, like, if I walk a lot in a day with like a backpack and we're hanging out, like when we went out to the cruise and we're walking around and I'm like just wet from the ocean and I'm like it's hot and sunny, I'm like, oh, like I can't do this. Like, I just want to sit down. It's funny because I just weeks before biked 100 miles,
Yeah.
and I'm like biking 100 miles, and I'm in pain, but I can continue to pursue because there's a goal. There's a goal,
Right.
and once I do that, then I'll be accomplished. It's funny because I feel like when I intentionally put myself in uncomfortable, hard, difficult positions, I have the tenacity, I have the ambition to finish through. But if it's anything I don't plan of like walking around with like sticky ocean water on you in the hot sun and you're sweating, you have like a string and then you sunburn, you're just like, oh, I can't ever do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. But what do you think are some questions that people might want to ask themselves, or what do you think that should push people to pursuing?
Well, I kind of liked what you said about how like what drives you, what's your influences in your life and stuff like that. And fitness is ours, but I was thinking about what another person would be like. We see people like read a ton of books. Mackenzie reads a ton. His fiance reads a ton of books. She could just read. To me, I'm like, dude, I can't do that.
Yeah,
But that she's growing in that. She's growing in that. Her vocabulary is insane. Like,
she's a fast reader too.
what's her favorite book? Isn't it the Thesaurus? She literally
Oh, I have no
says
idea.
all the time, or she says it when I've like asked her a question. She goes, "Oh, read the Thesaurus." Dude, I don't do that.
Yeah.
But she'll be like, "Oh, it's my favorite book. And she'll look it up for me, like without me being like, "Hey, could you help me out?" She'll be like, "Okay, so these are your kind of words." But then she like knows which
Yeah.
words to choose.
She also loves the Bible. She reads the
Yeah.
Bible all the time. It's funny that building a skill. She's a fast reader. So the time she goes, "Hey, all right, look at what they said," and then she shows me it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, she's like, and I'm like, what were you doing? She's like, "You're not done reading." I'm like,
Oh yeah, dude.
"You're done reading?" I'm in the third sentence in a paragraph. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, dude, I get
So it's funny.
roasted, dude. I get so roasted. It got to a point where I had to tell Jayla, "Hey, I'm a slow reader. I'll like I'll give you like a head nod or something like
Mm.
when I'm ready.
I can like we can read.
No, right,
I
right.
can read.
Yeah.
I just like maybe I can speed read, but then I'm like kind of just like throwing in
You
where
like
I
if
just
my
read
brain
like the
doesn't read
big
it.
things,
Yeah.
like the important stuff. I can tell you what it says, like what it means,
Yeah.
before word for word verbatim,
Yeah.
verbatage,
And so
whatever the
like
word
I
is.
think I think it comes down to what your passion, kind of like what you were talking about. What are you passionate about? Are you passionate about preaching? Okay, well then you should probably read books or watch sermons or talk to people, and that's how you grow. Like that's what you should pursue. Growing in your preaching, your teaching, your oral talking. Stephen Furtick, how he was like, I'm gonna talk to as many leaders and just soak up what they have to say, and I'm going to take classes to be better at speaking, public speaking, stuff like that. And it's like, all right, okay, so maybe it's not in that, but what if you're, I don't know, you want to be the nicest person in the world? Okay, well, what do you need to do? Well, you probably need to know how to control your emotions. You probably need to know how to change your perspective on people. So maybe you read or you watch videos on that stuff, or maybe you practice it and stuff like that. I just think that to find a goal, you have to ask yourself, what am I good at? Because I feel like you can't be. I feel like it'd be hard, very hard and challenging. Like kind of what you were talking about with physical activity, of you don't want to hurt yourself. So if I'm not a good reader and I go, okay, my goal is like lofty goals. Okay, my goal is I'm gonna read 10 books, but I dread it all the time. Like I'm seriously like this stinks. Like I don't even want to read these books. I don't care anymore. Then I feel like that's probably not a goal you should pursue or something that you should
Yeah,
you should go into. Maybe it's like, all right, maybe I'm gonna listen to it or whatever it may be. Just how can I get in that knowledge in? And so that's kind of like where I was thinking is just ask yourself what works for you, and or sorry, not what works for you, but what do you want to do, and then what is gonna work for you to get to that goal. Because I feel like some people just give unrealistic thoughts and decisions, and you're like, oh well, but you don't tell them that. That's the thing. Maybe it's your fault. Maybe you tell people that they can do it so well that they'll jump off the bridge, and then there's no landing, and then you're like, well, I'm just helping you out.
what?
How about how you're like a huge fan of your friends,
Yeah.
and I was making a joke that maybe it's your fault,
Oh,
but it's
because
not.
I'm hyping them up and I
Obviously it's,
don't
yeah,
have
but it's
capabilities
not
or
your
something.
fault. Yeah, but it's not your
Gotcha.
fault.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
your fault. But I was
I
saying
get it.
like
I get it.
maybe it's your, but
But like to kind of wrap this up, because I know we wanted to get you opportunity to go pursue your goals, not listen to a super long podcast. My last thing I want to leave with is that you want to kind of set up your time limit, because if there's no time limit, there's nothing's really going to take place. There's no traction that's going to happen. And I think this is a perfect time right now. A
mm,
lot of people are in school, so they can use the school calendar year. If you're not in school, forget it. You know summer's coming up,
right.
and whatever you call summer, May or June. Use this time now as a building block, as a time setup that not by this time next year, like where are you going to be? I
Right.
think one thing that we've had the opportunity to, we didn't have any goals with this podcast really. We wanted to grow. We have like things we want to kind of do in our mind, but nothing written down or anything like that. And you should really track your goals too. If we're talking about goal setting and everything, but we are talking about pursuing.
Hmm.
But when you're pursuing something, you want like a time setup.
Yeah.
For this podcast, we've grown less and more than what I even imagined.
Yeah.
And then when we hit 52, we're gonna be like, "What? No way! This is
Yeah.
awesome! This is crazy!" But um, just try to use this next setup. I like to think about myself in times. Like I have friends. We have friends that just left for a week. By the time they get back, have I changed?
Mm.
Use those like
Wow.
markers, like time markers as like a time of like growth. Like look what I can do in a week.
Yeah.
Like are they gonna come back and go, hey Braedon, like no way, you got taller or something like, or Braedon, hey, you read books now? You've read two
Yeah.
books? Like there's progression in that. And so if you give your like self like mini like time sets or time markers, you can kind of like track growth
Yeah.
and track your pursuit along with like at the end of it, you kind of look back. Like there's people that like are trained for like sub 3 hour marathons or Ironmans, and they go, Man, dude, I ran 10 miles in like what amount of time? In an hour and a half or two. It's crazy. But like 3 or 4 or 5 months ago, you couldn't run 3 miles in less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just like there's just progression and time over, and you just gotta look back and be like, wow, like I'm making progressions, but try to use this next time. Set a goal and pursue it. And like my biggest thing, the biggest thing I want to leave on. We talk a lot about like physical activity and being active stuff, but your biggest thing, the number one goal that you need for pursuing or you need to pursue after is the relationship with God.
Right.
That is end all be all. Forget however long you're gonna live on this earth. Forget the the fun experiences, stuff like that. That should be the biggest pursuit. Your relationship with God and diving into His Word and praying. Like we like to sign off podcast with like, make sure you pray today. Make sure you read your Bible. Make sure you're on top of your stuff. Like dot your I's, cross your X's, and circle your O's.
That sounds good. If that's
I
not
kind of
it,
just
if that's not it, that's
dot
it.
cross your T's or whatever it is. Yeah, it was I's and T's. Dot your I's, cross your T's.
And
And I
circle
just
your
maxed
O's.
and I did X and O like
I know that sounds good.
I don't know. But that is the thing you should be pursuing, and then helping your brothers and sisters, helping your family, helping the people around you, to also be reminded to pursue that goal. Oh, super quick. Super quick.
Yeah, no, you go ahead, do your thing.
When? Oh, I don't even know how to say it though.
While
Like,
you,
when are
oh,
you?
sorry,
Sorry.
go. No, go, no. If you gotta go for
When
it.
are you a bad person or a bad friend in someone's life when they are getting off track and you're trying to remind them? Like, when have you crossed the line of being, hey, you're being mean or you're on me too much?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like,
Like, give me an example about me, like something I may do or whatever.
you are slacking on your piano, not caring, not practicing. You're coming in not knowing anything you do. Your hands start getting slow and stuff like that. Hey, Caeden, you practicing piano? Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, Katie, you practicing piano? No, no, dude. It's fine, dude. You don't have to bring it up. Hey, Katie, you practicing piano? Dude, get off my back.
Mm.
Like, what's the line? Is it dependent on the person? Or when do I feel obligated? Like, as an obligation to keep you on track? Do you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Like, when do you cross the line?
Like, when is it I'm like overbearing on you when you're failing?
I feel like
You
you.
know?
I
Are
feel
you
like
am I
you.
never bad?
Yeah, that's what I'd
Or
say. I'd say you're never. I feel like in that situation, you could never be the bad guy if you're like constantly being like, "Hey, are you practicing piano?" Well, obviously, depending on how you say it, like, "Oh man, you stink." That probably is not the best. But if you're like just genuine, like, "Hey, just keep me on track," and I'm getting frustrated, I think that shows that first of all, I'm probably not and A or B or whatever number two is probably it becomes an insecurity in me kind of thing. So it's like I can't go in my car and be like, oh, Braedon keeps mentioning piano, because at that point it's like all he's trying to do. Because if you look at it from outside perspective, all you're trying to do is just trying to build me up and make sure that I'm good, making sure that I'm getting practicing, becoming better and stuff like that.
yeah,
So I feel like you can never cross the line. Just if the only way you could is if you like got aggressive towards it. Like,
yeah,
oh dude, you really sound bad.
yeah.
This
And
but
then
if you're like, hey, hey, are you practicing piano?
yeah.
No. Okay, well let's get together. Something like that. I don't know.
And a point to extract from that little interaction is that get good people that love you around you
Yeah.
because they'll help you in your pursuit of your goals, your relationships, your dreams.
Yeah.
Like get good people, good quality people that care about you.
That will surround and will build you up kind of
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Also, the last thing that Braedon kind of reminded me of is one time he told me or told this group when he was speaking and bringing the house down, and the Lord was crashing down. But one thing that he said was what he was talking. You were talking about Bible reading and spending time with God. Let it be something that you just do in your day. Like you know how you go to work, like that's scheduled out for that. Like Bible reading shouldn't be exactly like that. It shouldn't be like, I liked how you said it. It shouldn't be wavering. It shouldn't be like if someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to go hang out?" It would be, "Oh, I can at this time." Like I didn't go, "Oh yeah, I can hang out now." It's like, okay, yeah, an hour, give me 30 minutes or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Like it's like, this is what I'm going to do that day.
The greatest form of self love is self discipline,
Mm.
because it's long term goals that bring everlasting, fulfilling, deep rooted happiness and love and joy and peace, like the things that really matter that God talks about. Short term stuff, that's usually more
Wow, that's
fleeting.
good.
Happiness is fleeting. So I think to talk about that specifically is have it part of your routine. And when
Yeah,
you don't feel like doing it and you still do it, you still get the benefits from
yeah,
it, you know?
I love that. Wow, wow. We just fueled your curiosity. Unless, and if you were curious about that, we fueled your curiosity. This is BC Procast, episode number 43. We are 9 days away, technically.
9 videos.
9 videos, yeah. 9 videos away from becoming 52, a full year, that's what we started pursuing. It was like, we were just gonna do podcasts just for fun. Braedon one time said, let's like post 2 times a week. And I was like, dude, you're
Glad
crazy.
we didn't. That's
Dude,
gradual.
you're
See?
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
gradual. If we would have started at 2, we wouldn't have kept
Yeah.
up at all.
And so it started, like, we started finding that this was gonna be our goal, is doing 52 videos straight, podcasts straight. So honestly, it's find something about pursuit. Oh, this is what I want them to comment though. I want you to comment a goal that you want to set. Like legitimately a goal that you're gonna set, and put it down. Maybe it's a goal that you're pursuing right now, but set it, and then if we know you, we'll come up and ask you about it.
And
Because I'm
also
curious
and
too.
also a goal that you've accomplished that you're proud of.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
you've accomplished really recently that you're proud of.
yeah.
What's something you've accomplished that you're proud of?
Um, I'm gonna be very, very happy about bachelor's degree. That would be the goal that I'm about to accomplish. But that I have accomplished, I would like to say probably something school related, like getting my associate's degree. Because I didn't think I was ever gonna. I've wanted to drop out so many times, and you know
Yeah.
this. I've wanted to be like, dude, I'm done. I just want to
Yeah.
work.
Every college student does
Yeah,
that.
but I think that's probably one of my top goals or things that I accomplished. What about you?
Mine real quickly was just living out my dream I've had since I was a little kid is um, backpacking through Europe.
Which is amazing, dude. Which is amazing.
Oh, and proposing to my fiance.
You must pause that. That
I
was
think they
cool.
saw it.
I don't think they
Good
did.
save, right?
I mean, at least you didn't say it was like your dream.
Yeah.
Oh, you did say it was your dream.
I
Like
love
long
you,
term.
Europe, Kenzie.
Kenzie.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. We fueled your curiosity. Set and pursue life goals. Pursue something in life. Pursue a relationship with God. Read your Bible each day and pray each day, and you'll grow, grow, grow. That's a song. Make sure it happens. Comment down a goal or something you want to pursue and something you've already accomplished. We appreciate you watching each week. Soon it's going to be the year. So make sure you like, subscribe, follow along, comment down. Am I
Send
missing
this to
anything?
5 people, and you already mentioned it, but make sure that you pray, talk to him, pursue that, and I think that's it. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.